Shumai. Right, well, this is a map of the Morns, and I do absolutely love maps, all their little details, but it's the fact that you can choose and point somewhere and think, I wonder what it's like there, or, you know, think, I'd love to explore there, the ideas, and you conjure up different ideas of that area, and stuff. So maps are very superb, and as a child I used to draw my own little islands. We treasure islands and stuff, and basically this poem is about a map. Basically both parts are actually, and they're about a map of an island. They're both about an island, and basically I'm going to record them in two installments, because there's two parts to it, and they're quite complex pieces, but I do like them, and though it is sad in the sense that the first one starts off of that purity of love, but it's not obviously without trouble, or you know, obviously there's obstacles, if you know, along the way. I'll read it to you anyway. There's a lot of metaphors in it, and stuff, and symbolism and stuff like that. So this is part one, and it's called Mind Map. I drew this map, and it became a semiotic kingdom of a blissful mind. The broken dashes of my path line, which led to various types of treasure, that was located in different parts of this island. I am but a rover here, and during my travels, there in the sight of the glades, an attraction I found. I gave her my map, and she gave me her map. We looked at each other, puzzled, with a twinkle in our eyes. It was the same island, but the difference was that her broken dashes of her path line were different. Smiling at each other, knowing that we had the whereabouts of each other's treasure. Suddenly, we drew the symbols for meadows and orchards, impregnable forests, deciduous and coniferous, teak forests, like the ones in the protected national park in India, where stealth tigers roam. The island was alive with animals, birds and plants, with beautiful sounds, and naturally obtained instruments made from the island's resources, which gave aesthetics a resonating and acoustically forming pathways to the heart. This music that ears have never heard before, with essence that held the language of music in the air, whereby we spoke its tones and melodies. This place was filled in the most lush and juicy green foliage and undergrowth. Mountains that we started off illustrating with contour lines took on their own forms, spilling and spurting rills. Its transparent purity transcends its sturdy nature, whereby its quench refreshes the soul. Your slight tickle, the waters flutter, to mutter its course of existence with a gargle through a rockery. Its hollow pour, the waters glug. O now, streamlet, run, run, and run let, where the glistening rivulet met a tributary that became lakes. Oh, but the lakes in us as deep and mysterious. The excitement of the shape of the island, trying to get the most interesting and adventurous bays, peninsulas and small islands that clung to its mother. Oh, shoreline, the coast provided cliffs and headlands, caves, arches, stacks and stumps with tufts of growth that whispered peace. Even in the turbulent coastal storms that crashed the rocks to dark grey, where spray soaked the plant life that holds on to a petal-freckled floral display. In clefts and nooks, on sand dunes and cliffs where seabirds nest for softness, sheltered bays that house the memory of loved ones, longshore drifts creating spits, salt marsh and beaches that stretch a white, golden yellow, twinkling in stars, as if the heaven could not hold all of them, because there were far too many, so it rained and sieved its stars upon the beaches. Other beaches promised and gave, with the reoccurring waves, that scattered mother of pearl, oh, bless me, iridescent silver white, that shimmers the spectrum of light. Beside deep blues that contrasted and complemented its juxtaposition, even pearls and shells of all kinds. The pebbles and stones had beautiful markings of patterns, some as smooth and as polished, or burnished to reflect. They had white and grey etched in rhythmic waves that wrapped around some of the pebbles and stones. Who could speak of the island's colours, then proclaim it unto me? The tones, hints and hues, the shadows and textures were sublime. The lichens, patches and sprays turned from white to an orange. I have failed already, and must give something else as an example. The fruit oranges, but still the textures produce a different sight to the orange. Perhaps it glows more with the daytime light. But still, how can I take it further to the image that I possess in my mind? Whereby its journey through the space between, does it change, or is it a unity of the chain's experience from environment to environment? She put her finger up to her soft lips. Shh, it's all right. Trust that we can understand these changes. Very well, my dear. This archery of this bow and arrow is the pain that love can cause. These arrows are not just for the heart, defense and protection from smugglers and pirates. And we must keep clear of the cave of the haunting echoes on the coast where the waves lap at the mouth, where the mermaids cry their wailing song. She grabs my hand and said, "What shall we name our island?" We both were silent, thinking. When suddenly we both in synchronicity said, "Oneness." Thank you for listening.